The anti-Ruto protest that is going on in Kenya is being monitored internationally. Just today, the UN Human Rights Office, through their spokesperson Jeremy Lawrence, released a press statement condemning how William Ruto is handling the protests. And I've got a feeling that the gods are slowly but surely abandoning William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. I want us to go straight to the statement by the UN watchdog. The statement reads, ladies and gentlemen, comment by UN Human Rights Office spokesperson Jeremy Lawrence on Kenya protests. And it continues to say that the UN Human Rights Office is very concerned by the widespread violence and allegations of unnecessary or disproportionate use of force, including the use of firearms by police during protests in Kenya. Reports say up to 23 people have died, have been killed, and dozens injured in the demonstrations in the past week. It doesn't end there. They continue to say that we call for prompt, thorough, independent, and transparent investigations into the deaths and injuries. Those responsible must be held to account. Effective measures to prevent further deaths and injuries must be adopted. In light of calls for further protests next week, we call on the authorities to ensure the right to peaceful assembly as guaranteed by the Kenyan Constitution and international human rights law. The policing of protest must seek to facilitate peaceful assemblies, and any use of force must be guarded by the principles of legality, necessity, proportionality, and non-discrimination. Firearms should never be used to disperse protests. Those are not my words. Those are the words of the UN Human Rights spokesperson Jeremy Lawrence. Kindly subscribe to our channel if you're watching us for the first time. We really need your support, and I want to thank those who support us, our subscribers, our viewers, and those who sponsor our channel in one way or the other. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying the gods are abandoning William Samoei Ruto. And if there is one person whose God is standing with him as far as the demonstrations are concerned, is Raila Odinga and the entire Azimio fraternity. And this is a big blow to William Samoei Ruto. And I will tell you why. You know, William Ruto and his government have always relied on the international bodies to stop Raila Odinga on his track, to stop him to abandon the course when he's about to achieve what he wants. And many times, the information that they give the international bodies is always full of fallacies. But it turns out that the United Nations Human Rights have got all this truth at their fingertips. It seems they are on the ground, because when they come and say that they have the number of deaths at 23, when the government was saying about 7 people something, it tells you that they no longer rely on William Ruto. They are now telling Kenyans and the international bodies as a whole that they are on the ground and they know what is happening. So William Ruto cannot cheat them, and it means that he will no longer rely on them to stop Raila. The other thing that is happening here, you will understand that during the first demonstrations, Raila and the Azimio fraternity, through their lawyer Paul Mwangi, did a letter to the ICC, International Criminal Court, and they accused Ruto's administration of using extrajudicial means of using excessive force and killing innocent and peaceful demonstrators. And they cited one person to be in charge, the Inspector General, Japheth Koome. If you have seen of late, Japheth Koome has vanished. He's no longer in the picture. Today, I remember Ahmed Nasir was asking whether it's still working. And there are arguments that maybe he's calling the shots, in his office because he doesn't want to be seen. He had been cited. Recently, in fact, I think it was yesterday, when the Azimio fraternity called upon their supporters to just have photos, take photos and videos of policemen who are using brutal force against, Kenyans. And there are a lot of arguments about this because many feel that they are collecting evidence to take to The Hague. Turns out that the international body, the Human Rights Office, has got all this. Because how did they know that we have 23 people who have died? It means that maybe they are working with other offices like Kenya Human Rights. And so they have got all these evidences. Should there be any necessity that Ruto and his administration will be taken to The Hague, then the human rights, the international human rights, will be very ready with evidence. And I can assure you, this is a big blow because it is going to slow down the Kenya Kwanza team. They have been ranting and saying that Raila Odinga is causing havoc in the country. These people have got their own statistics. They won't rely on the statistics of the Kenyan government. They are saying that there should be thorough and independent investigations into the deaths, the 23 people they're talking about. One, the government had not even agreed that we had more than 10 deaths. And so when this comes out, and they're being compelled to have thorough and independent investigations, not only that, and those who are responsible to take personal responsibility, to be brought to book. These people are speaking the language of Azimio. Because Azimio had already indicated that they have instructed their lawyers to prosecute individuals who are using brutal force to kill innocent Kenyans. Already we have people who have been killed, there are others who have been maimed, others are still in hospitals. And Azimio said that they are going to offset their bills. They want to stand with them. These people are speaking the language of Azimio. The government is left on their own. William Ruto is on his own on this. It reminds me of a statement from the Deputy Secretary General of the UN, who had once said, Madam Amin, I think, who had once said that she does not trust William Ruto. It corroborates the fact that these people don't trust William Ruto. And there is pressure on William Ruto now to ensure that these people are prosecuted. They are working for him. How is he going to prosecute them? This is going to aggravate this matter because they are still watching as police unleash more brutality when those who, the perpetrators and those who killed innocent Kenyans have not been prosecuted. And this is adding to more evidence, salt to injury. Azimio want to prosecute them. The UN body is also urging for their prosecution. Let me tell you something. Azimio is approaching the third wave of protest. And they have indicated that due to public demand, due to hustlers' demand, they are now going to engage in protest from next week on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Someone was telling me that we lose 3 billion Kenya shillings per day. That will be 9 billion. William Ruto is busy telling Kenyans that Azimio should give him time to help grow this economy. I don't think it is happening anymore. Because as he tries to make noise about the economy, Kenyans are protesting against the high cost of living and punitive taxes, the Finance Bill 2023. He is clicking onto this finance bill and it is causing him more. The UN body Mr. Lawrence is saying that moving forward, the police must guarantee to protect and guarantee the safety of those who are protesting in accordance with the law, the Kenyan law, and the international law. The Kenyan constitution has freedom of picketing and association, and they are intended with the international law. And Jeremy Lawrence is saying that the police, and of course when they talk of the police, Kithure Kindiki is included, Koome is included, my friend Bungei, the Nairobi commandant, is included, Rigathi Gachagua, the tough talking guy, is included, the entire staff, the entire security apparatus are included, and they are told to ensure that they guarantee security and safety of those who will be demonstrating. Don't you think it is a blow? Just the other day, they wanted to arrest Raila. There have been calls to arrest Raila. And you know very well that arresting Raila is a recipe to chaos. And the UN board is saying that we don't need any chaos. This is a big blow, ladies and gentlemen. And it is going to slow down. Even Kithure Kindiki, this guy, I say, is an international lawyer. He was in the Hague representing William Ruto. He understands law. He's going to go slow. Yesterday I told you that Kithure Kindiki has tried resigning twice. And you are telling me that this is propaganda. Just wait and see. He might resign. The policemen who are shooting harmlessly will not do it. And if they do, they will take personal responsibility. And I can assure you, you are going to see a change of heart. If you don't see any change of heart from the security apparatus, then prepare to see names going to the Hague. Because it seems that there are, secret investigations going on. I think this is the right direction. William Ruto must allow people to exercise their democratic right. People fought for this constitution. People shed blood for this constitution. And we cannot watch anyone mutilating it. For the very first time, I stand with the international community because I've always condemned the USA and the UK for interfering and meddling in our affairs. For the first time, I have someone that I want to salute. The United Nations Human Rights Office spokesperson, Mr. Jeremy Lawrence, I salute you for standing with the oppressed. Keep up the good job. William Ruto, Rigathi Gachagua, Kithure Kindiki, and all the security apparatus. Meet the people. Meet the hustlers that you promised to lower the cost of living. Meet them on the streets. You will meet the full force of the law. You are in charge of the Kenyan government, but we have the international courts waiting. I don't know what you think, but this is my take.